We will require employers to provide 7 paid sick days each year. We'll enforce laws that prohibit caregiver discrimination. And we'll encourage flexible work schedules to better balance work and parenting for mothers and fathers. That's a change that working families need all across America. We need a housing market that's honest, open, and accountable. I think many of you have been reading about the problems that we've been having in the subprime lending market. I've introduced a bill in the Senate that cracks down on mortgage fraud because it has an impact on families all across America. As president, I'll get tough on enforcement and raise penalties on lenders who've broken the rules. For homeowners facing foreclosure through no fault of their own, we'll create a fund and reform bankruptcy laws to give them a shot at avoiding foreclosure. We'll mandate that prospective home buyers have access to accurate and complete information about their mortgage options. And we'll give middle-class homeowners added relief by providing a tax credit that covers 10% of a family's mortgage interest payments every year. That's a change that America's homeowners need right now, and our entire economy can use it as well. Since many people who hold subprime mortgages are shifting their debt to credit cards, we have to make sure that they understand their commitments. Otherwise, credit cards could be the next stage in the subprime crisis. To make sure that Americans know what they're signing up for, I'll institute a 5-star rating system to inform consumers about the level of risk involved in every credit card. And we'll establish a credit card bill of rights that will ban unilateral charges to a credit card agreement, ban rate changes to debt that's already incurred, and ban interest on late fees. Americans need to pay what they owe, but they should pay what's fair. And right now, too many aren't. This same principle of fairness is needed in our bankruptcy laws. For far too long, the same politicians in Washington who've been cutting back the safety net for working people have protected golden parachutes for the well-off. So workers lose their pensions and their health care while CEOs get multi-million-dollar payouts. I fought against a bankruptcy reform bill in the Senate that did more to protect credit card companies and banks than help working people. And I'll continue to fight for good bankruptcy laws as president. No more bonuses for executives while pensions disappear. We'll press firms to put more money into their pension funds. We'll require firms to disclose their pension fund investments. And we'll increase the amount of wages and benefits that workers can claim in bankruptcy court. That's the change we need in our bankruptcy laws to restore balance and fairness to the system. And if you can demonstrate that you went bankrupt because of medical expenses, then there must be a process that relieves that debt and lets you get back on your feet. I don't accept an America where we let somebody go over a cliff just because they get sick. That's not who we are as Americans. Of course, I want to set up the system where people don't get bankrupt because they get sick. Every 4 years, politicians come before you to talk about health care. You hear the same promises, and then you see the same results. Well, it is time to end the outrage of 47 million uninsured Americans. It's time to stop talking about it and finally do something about it. I reformed healthcare in Illinois, and I didn't do it alone. I did it by reaching out to Democrats and Republicans. We took on the insurance industry, and we won. And this is, by the way, something I know something about because my mother died of cancer when she was 53 years old. And I remember in the last few months of her life, watching her, she wasn't worrying about getting well. She was spending time trying to read insurance forms because she had just gotten a new job. And the insurance companies were arguing that maybe this was a pre-existing condition, so they wouldn't have to reimburse her for medical bills. I know what it's like to see a loved one suffer, not just because they're sick, but because of a broken healthcare system. And it's wrong. It's not who we are. And that's why I intend to pass a universal healthcare bill that cuts a typical family's premiums by up to $2,500, that sets up a program so that you have health care that is at least as good as the health care that I have as a member of Congress, because you pay my salaries, and I don't think that I should have better health care than you do. And mark my words, I will sign this bill by the end of my first